Good Wednesday evening. I hope everybody's doing wonderful and hope you had a great day today. Let me put my AirPods in to make sure that I'm coming through crystal clear. There we go. All right. So let a couple people jump on. A couple people have jumped on. Say hello. Who are you? What you doing? How you doing? How was your day? Did you stay warm today? And I am a big believer in starting on time. So we're going to play a super quick intro, and then we're going to jump right into this web class. While we're jumping into the web class, if you do not have the workbook, do me a favor and send me a text message. We'll send you the workbook. We're working off of a workbook. So only a couple of you have it that I know about. Shoot me a text message. The number that you need to send it to. If you know me and you have my number, shoot me a text message there. If you don't know me and you want the copy of the workbook, text the number that's scrolling across the bottom, and we will get cranking right away.
Yeah, it's time to live your life. ReCreate, show them how to take it to the highest height. Hey, this is more than financial advice. Show you how to take control. Time to get your money right. Money management, I know that we all need financial independence. Yeah, it seems out of reach, but you can make it happen. Now it's time for some action, helping you with your finances. Yeah, we got a passion. Hey, ain't no limit. Now it's time to get it. You deserve to have a life how you wanna live it. Secrets to success. Now it's time to get it right. Yeah, I'm talking all about that 24K life. Let's go. This the vibe. For real, I'm trying to tell you. Tell me if you ready to take it to the next level. ReCreate, talking fitness and investment. Change your mindset and show you how it's all connected. Ain't no need to hesitate or delay. Only way to live life is a 24K. Hey, ReCreate, let them know. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. I am pasting the link in Facebook. So I just paste the link inside of Facebook. So if you want the link, it's in Facebook. If you're on YouTube, let me know, and I'll have Devin or someone send you the link. So we're jumping right into the master class. We're gonna have a class today. It's the first time ever I've done a class live without somebody having to be in a private room. So if you want to ask a question, if you have a comment, put it in the comment section and we'll go from there. So what we're talking about is your money mindset and how you need to start to reframe your thoughts, because your thoughts reframe your actions, and your actions is what gets you to your results. So we have to start with your money mindset. We have to start with your mindset, and then we move forward from there. So as you can see, I posted the link. If you want the workbook, it is a dope ass workbook. I mean, I put a lot of time and energy into it. You should probably grab it and help us follow along. If you don't get it now, you can get it later, and you can do the work. There's always work to be done. So we talk about your money mindset, and the first thing is, where do we get our money mindset? Okay. The first thing, so you say, well, let's back up. Let's say, what is our money mindset? So what's your money mindset? Well, I can tell you that my money mindset today is 100% different than what it was years and years ago. Now, when I was a kid, my dad used to line us up in the kitchen before school, and he'd say, hey, Derek, do you need money for lunch? Kobe, do you need money for lunch? And my brother was kind of young, so they just gave him money for lunch. They didn't ask him anything. And the reality is that when they lined us up, all I could remember was the arguments that I heard my parents having the night before, the day before, the week before. And those arguments were always about money. Why didn't you pay such and such a bill? What are we going to do about this? So when my dad lined us up and asked us if we needed money for lunch, I always was like, no, I'm good. Now, any sane adult would know that this kid doesn't go to work. He doesn't have a savings account, so he probably didn't have any money. And so it's not that I necessarily went hungry because my sister would give me some of her lunch, but I was always concerned about money. So my money mindset was there's lack. Money causes problems. There's never enough money. And so that's the way I grew up. We grew up, it wasn't a surprise every blue moon to have the lights out or the water off. Now, we were well taken care of. We were well fed. We were well loved. Good evening, Donetta. But money was always seemingly in a lack. So as I grew up, I had a lack mindset as it comes to money. There was no saving because there was never enough to save. I went to a private high school, went to private grade school. So my parents used to always be trying to figure out how to get enough money to make sure I could take my exams because we needed to pay my tuition before they let me take my exams. So it was always some tension in the house revolving money. Plenty of church stuff, plenty of love, plenty of all the other fun stuff, very little bit, not very little, not as much money, or at least not proper money management, which is probably more what I learned about my family's household as I grew up. So needless to say, when I was sitting down watching TV as a kid, my dad, or I'd be walking, playing around in the room. My dad would say, dude, move. Your daddy wasn't a glass maker. Dude, money doesn't grow on trees. And so that told me money isn't easy. It doesn't grow on trees. You just can't go outside and pick $10 off the money tree to keep your life moving. And my dad used to work really hard. He worked 2 jobs. He worked a full job. And then at the end of the day, he'd moonlight. He was a master plumber. Everybody wanted him to come to their house to fix something. And so he was always working, but we always seemed to be lacking. So that was my money mindset when I was a kid. We'll talk about my new money mindset a little bit later. That's also where I got my money mindset. So when you're doing the workbook, the first 2 things I need you to do, and you don't do it this second, but later, because you got to do the work, is figure out what your money mindset is. Is it poverty? Is it prosperity? Is it lack? Is it substantive? I mean, what is your money mindset? Are you a saver? Are you a Scrooge? You can't do anything because you have to save every penny. Is money hard to come by? Is money easy to come by? Does money slip through your fingers? What is your money mindset? And then you need to go into the next phase, which is, well, where did I get my money mindset? Did you get it from somebody successful? If you got your money mindset from somebody successful, and it's a positive mindset, then you're on the right path. If you got it from somebody successful and they were mean your whole life because money was tight, or they said money was tight, nothing was good enough, you might want to rethink that money mindset. And so where did you get we get all of our lessons, everything that we ever thought we would be, we've done, and we learned from our parents or our caregivers by the time you were 10. By the time you were 10, everything that you are now, you got that from your parents or your guardians by age 10. So if you want to cut to the chase, that's where you got it. I can also share with you that as I proceeded on, I picked up better money insights from my grandfather, just listening to him talk to people. And he was the deacon at his church, and he was in charge of the not beneficial, what is it? Anyway, people that came to ask the church for money. He was in charge of the benevolence. He was the benevolence chairman committee member. And I used to listen to him talk to people about how they managed their money. Why were they asking for money for things that were normal that they should have already prepared for? And didn't they know these bills were coming, and why, what happened? Now, the number scrolling beneath is so that you can text me if you have any questions. My team's going to pick them up and you can ask us there. You can also download the workbook. I put it on the Facebook link. You'll see it in the chat. It's the very first message. So what would make your life easier monetarily? How could money make your life easier? You want to really think about that. If you get a vision board, or if you think about money a lot, most people think about money. Oh, I want to get this fancy new car. I want to get this diamond bracelet. I want to, they always want material things. But let's step backwards and let's ask ourselves, how can money make my life easier? And it's something that you really have to think about. I'll give you an example for myself. Money would make my life easier. The more money I have, the more fitness coaches I can hire, the better nutrition I can purchase and buy. I can have people to help me figure out what my body chemistry is, to see what foods react, what exercises react, so that I can have more energy, so that I can do more things at a higher level on a consistent basis. Okay? Having more money gives me the opportunity to explore more, research more, invest more in the things that I want to do. I want more programs, more recordings, more opportunities to spend time with you like this. So if I had more money, I'd spend less time doing those work kind of things and more time doing these kind of work things, because it's what I was called to do. So in your workbook, you're going to write down, how can money make my life easier? This is not your vision board. This is not your wish list. We're not talking about buying yachts and planes. We're talking about, how can having more money make your life easier? Maybe you could sleep better knowing you don't owe people. Maybe you could rest better knowing that you don't have so much debt. How can money make your life easier? So think about that. So what percent, this is all part of the matrix, what percent of people do you believe track their expenses? What percent of people track their expenses? And I'm going to tell you the answer. Anybody want to throw out a number? Thank you, Danetta. Anybody want to throw out a number? I'm going to tell you. First of all, most wealthy people track their income and expenses. Most rich people track their income and expenses. Danetta says 10%. I'm going to agree with Danetta. Of the average people, less than 20% are tracking their income and expenses. But more than 85% of wealthy people track their income and expenses. Now, most people, when they come to me and we talk about this, they go, well, rich people don't have to track their stuff because they got so much money, they just do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it. They don't have to track anything. And I'm here to tell you, the reason why they have money is because they know where it is. They know where it's going. They know what's coming in. They know what's going out. They know the ratios. They will not buy something that's 25 or 35% of their net worth. Whereas average people, normal people, working class people will go out and buy a $70,000 vehicle, $70,000, $50,000, $70,000 vehicle, and don't have $1,000 in the bank. That means that you're paying way more than your net worth, way more than your net worth, not a percentage of your net worth, way more than your net worth. So you need to track. And once you get in the flow, you don't have to track as much because you know what you're bringing in, you know what you're spending, and therefore you don't have to continuously track it as long as you stay on your money system, on your money plan. So I've asked you this 1,000 times. I'm going to ask you again. The reason why I ask is it's so critically important. What percentage of people live check to check? What percent live check to check? Here's your choices. 25% of the people live check to check. 50% of people live check to check. 75% of people live check to check, or 85% of people live check to check. Which one is it? So when you're looking inside your workbook, you want to fill these out. You want to write them down. You want to know. You want to be able to go back and revert and revisit to enhance what you're doing. So if you don't know, 85%, close to Netta, 85% live check to check. So here's how you can figure this out. It's called Google. You can Google it. I will not tell you anything you can't go Google. So what do you want to Google? Go Google what's the average savings of an American worker. It's less than $1,000. So that means that if the average American that's working has less than $1,000 and the average paycheck of an American is $2,500, that means they're living check to check. That means that $1,000 is not lasting them to the next check. They need that money to, good job, Rashawn, 85%. They need that money to pay their bills. When the pandemic hit, if you were outsized, right size, downsize, or your business shut down, how long did you last before you got that stimulus? That was a shocker for most people. And it wasn't big enough a shocker for people to change their habits. But we're here because we need to change the way we see things, the way we look at things, the way we view things, the way we handle things. Because when you see something differently, you will do something differently if it hits you in your heart. And we're trying to get you to understand it. You don't have to live financially shackled. You don't have to be subservient to no boss cussing you out, pointing fingers at you, telling you what you gon' do, or they're gonna let you go. You don't deserve to be mistreated because you chose not to manage your financial life accordingly. Let's manage our life accordingly, put up with that bull for a second or two, and then graduate from being shackled. And I use the word on purpose, shackled, because you are a slave. You are a slave to needing that check, which means you're going to put up with some ish you don't normally put up with. Hi, Sissy, how are you? So we are here to teach you the things. Change your money mindset. Don't spend money you don't have. Yes, you need a car, but let's be judicious about it. Let's be smart about it. Let's be strategic about it. So my next thing that I want to share with you is that belief is a vibe. Okay, I'm sorry. Belief is a vibe, but belief is a verb. Your belief is a verb. It's not something that you do and then you're done. It's something you're continuously doing. So the question becomes, when you're thinking about your mindset, do you believe on a continuous basis that things are going to work out for you? Do you believe that you're going to get that promotion? Do you believe that tomorrow, when you have that interview for that new position, that you're going to set it off? Do you believe that as you continue to maneuver and grow? Do you believe that money's coming to you, that you deserve money, that you deserve resources, that you deserve to get in the movies for free, that you deserve a free pizza, that you deserve to win, contests when you put your name in? Do you deserve it? Do you believe that you deserve it? Do you believe that things are going to work out? Do you believe that you're going to have enough money to pay your bills? Do you believe that more money is coming to you? Do you believe? It is a verb. You are constantly in that process of belief. And if you're not, you don't have the right money mindset, because we spin off a vibe. We spin off energy. You can tell when you pick up the telephone and somebody's smiling, if they're pissy, if they had a bad day, if they're mad that you even called. You can tell when you pick up the phone. So we spin off a vibe. Do you have that vibe at work that, man, I'm popular, I'm worthy, I'm valuable? You'd be crazy not to treat me like gold. What vibe are you giving off at work? It's that belief. If you believe I gotta be here and this ain't worth it and this is some bull, then that's the way people are going to treat you. You're not going to get that money. You're not going to get that raise. You're not going to get people to work with you to make life easier and better. And trust me, it's not about the money. It's about what the money brings into your life. Go back earlier in the worksheet and ask yourself, how would money make my life easier? So belief is a verb. Next question on the worksheet. How much time are you willing to spend to improve your circumstances? How much time are you willing to spend? Are you willing to spend an hour a week? Are you willing to spend an hour a month? You got to figure out what you're going to dedicate yourself to. What's your hobbies? Most people go to work and they come home and they veg out. They don't ever tap into their true value. They never tap into their true meaning, their true purpose. They never really explore further than what's sitting in front of them. So what kind of time are you willing to invest? Take Danetta as an example. This chick is amazing. She has a regular job, 9 to 5. She also runs an innumerous amount of public events for vendors, for small business owners to come and sell their wares and goods. She is a vehicle for entrepreneurs to sell their wares. She has to coordinate all that. She has to structure all that. She has to contact the facilities, the vendors, the structure, the tables, the chairs. She's not sitting on her laurels. And she told you last week that she has, and you guys weren't here per se, but she told you how well she's doing and how she had her best year ever last year. So let's get to our money story? What's your money story? Now, I'd share with you when I was a kid what my money story was. It was always lacking. It was always, money was always thin. My dad was like, money don't grow on trees, bruh. I used to listen to him argue, call my grandmother, hey, we need $1,000 for Derek's tuition. See, my sister, she was super smart. So she got a full scholarship or a scholarship when she was in high school. I got one when I was in college. She got one in high school. That tells you how much smarter she was than the rest of us. So I was the problem child because I was going to a school that cost $6,000, $7,000 a year. And I wasn't a problem child, but money, $6,000, $7,000 a year, 35, 40 years ago was a lot of money. And so my parents would struggle to make sure that I got a great education. So that was my money story. But what is my money story? Think about this. I stressed out about money so much that I made it my profession. I was stressed out so much about money that it was always in the front of my mind. Always. It was always in the front of my mind. So much so, I got into the profession of money management. Not to fix that, it was natural. When you think about something, you get attracted to it. So I was worried about money, so I was attracted to fixing money issues. But let me tell you something. I was a professional money manager for probably 10 years, 11 years before I actually even changed my own money mindset, because I was always worried there wasn't enough. I was always concerned we were going to run out. I was always concerned that a bill might not get paid, even though they were getting paid. So when you do that in your subconscious mind, you find ways to waste money. It sounds crazy. I promise you I've done the homework on it. I promise you it's not just me. There's scientific studies on this. What you think about, what you focus on expands. So if you think about money coming in, more money will come in. If you think about money going out, you will hit the Amazon button more and more often. And you won't have any money. And you have a bunch of ish you don't need that you wish you wouldn't have bought, still sitting in the box. So my money story is money flows to me. Clients flow to me. People want to fix their financial disposition, so they call me. Rob, I know it's wild, but it's true, bro. It is so true. We don't focus on lack. We focus on where we're going and what we're doing, which is why it's so important to see where you're going and to see that your ability to manifest while you're on your way on the journey. This is something my sister taught me. I learned from everybody. And so, I was more of the ilk that you had to struggle and that you had to strain and that you had to work hard and that you get this money and that you had to suffer to keep it. And you had to do all these difficult things along the way. Meanwhile, my sister's going on 5 vacations a year. She's working just as hard as I am, but she's enjoying herself along the way. She'll tell you this if she wants to, but I called her one day and I said, there's got to be a happy medium. There has to be a happy medium between working as hard as I do and traveling as much as you do. So where's the happy medium? And we talked about it for a little while. And, we decided that, maybe instead of 5 times a year, it's 4 times a year or it's 3 times a year, but you're saving those other 2 vacations in an emergency fund or in a home improvement account or in some early retirement. But she caught on early to figure out how to enjoy the journey along the way. It took me 20 years. I used to beat the stuff out of clients. No, we can't do that. No, you can't do that. No, we need to save for this. No, that's not smart. Until I got wiser and I figured out life is more than just stacking cash. Let's figure out how to enjoy ourselves along the way. So today, what's your money story? What do you want your money story to be? Money flows to me. Money comes to me. Raises come to me. Bonuses come to me. Opportunities come to me. Free airfare comes to me. Getting bumped up to first class comes to me. I'm telling you, these are all the things that happen to me now since I've changed my disposition and my outlook. And here's the thing that I'm promising you. The reason why it changed wasn't because I just changed my outlook. But when I saw that things were coming easier, when I saw other people getting bumped up to first class, I'm like, they ain't no better than me. So it's possible. So I'm expecting to get bumped up. So I click the little button. Yes, I want to be bumped up. Doesn't mean you're going to get it, but you click the button and say, yeah, bump me up to first class. Okay. Yes, I expect debts to be forgiven. Yes, I expect bonuses to come in. Yes, I expect unexpected projects that are going to pay me more. Yes, I expect somebody to hire me to do a speaking engagement that's going to pay me $1,400 plus travel. So you have to speak life into yourself. And the point becomes, when you believe it, when you see it, you start to act differently. You start to push off a different energy, and people are receptive to that. What do you think about the person that walks in the room with their head down and they're kind of looking like this versus the person that comes in like, yep, I'm here. I'm here. What's next? Who's got next? I got next. What's up? You treat that person totally different. You approach them totally different. When you walk in the bank broke versus walking in knowing that you have something to offer and something to receive, the tellers treat you differently. They're always nice to everybody. Don't get me wrong. It's the energy that you're bringing. It's your mindset that you are bringing in front of you. So you need to write down your money story. I give you plenty of opportunities here to do that. The next question is, where do I need to focus more? Some of you need to read this book. It's called The 4 Agreements. It's kind of bright. You can't see it. It's called The 4 Agreements. I'm trying to get it so you can see it. But The 4 Agreements is a book that talks about the 4 things that you need to commit to yourself in order to change your insides so that people can see that change on the outside. Now, we're not changing for people on the outside. We're changing because we need people to manifest what it is that we're trying to do. So I posted today, putting out this free virtual masterclass on altering your money mindset. And Danetta was the first one to share that with the rest of her community. So I can't get to her community without her. Tara shared it with her community. I can't share it to her community. So we need each other in order to get our word, our message, our talents, our products, and our solutions to the universe. So where do you need to focus more of your energy? Do you need to focus more on understanding how you should be talking to yourself? What words you're saying? If you say, man, every time I get some money, something always happens. Is that what you're saying to yourself? Because I promise you, trust and believe, if that's the energy you're putting out, when you get that tax refund, something's going to happen, and you're going to need that money for an emergency versus being able to save it, invest it, or use it for an asset. What are you saying to yourself on the regular? So you need to write that down. What are the words that I'm using? Not just in the money, but in every aspect of your life, because Ro was right. We are speaking life into ourselves. And guess what? Our children are listening. In the workbook, I give you a little box right there. And let me tell you what it says. It says, adopt and teach your kids a positive money mindset. What you tell your kids, and I used to tell this to mine, but I stopped doing it way before I changed my money mindset. I just caught on to this a long time ago. We can't afford that. No, we can't do that. We can't afford it. We have no money for that. No, we ain't doing that. You got no money for that. We don't say that anymore, okay? Because you're teaching them lack. You're teaching them poverty. What you should be saying is, we can afford anything that we plan for. So the next time you want to do X in a small window of time, you need to sit down with me, say I need to do X, and we need to strategically plan for it. You give you an example. This is what kids will do to you. They'll say, I need new shoes because there's a hole in my shoe. Then they'll say, I'm outgrowing my pants. It didn't happen overnight. And then they'll say, school trips coming up and I want to do X, Y, Z. And I need to get my driver's license. I need to sign up for driver's school. And prom's coming and I need my senior ring. So you're like, whoa. We can't do all that. That's not what you're going to say. Okay, we can do whatever you want to do in the order you want to do it. Let's prioritize what's most important to you. You want to drive or you want to go to prom? Let them decide. You don't have to be the bad guy. Let them, the bad woman, let them decide. But you got to help them prioritize. We can do anything if we plan for it. The next one, there isn't enough. Oh, there's way more than enough. There's way more than enough. Look around you. People are drinking $1,000 bottles of stuff. Drinking $1,000 bottles of stuff. There's more than enough money to go around. You just haven't sat down to do your 24K workbook, to figure out what your money story is, to figure out what your skill set is, to figure out what your belief is, to figure out how you're going to solve big problems in the world, because your mindset is all messed up. Okay? So on here, there's 3 things: the 80-20 rule, your power words, and a personal token. We're going to cover all 3 of those super quick. So the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule is simply this. You're going to only need, of 100%, 80-20, 80 plus 20 is 100. Of 100%, only 20% of these books are going to help me progress. I only wear 20% of my clothes in my closet. I make most of my money off 20% of my best clients. So only 20% of the things that you're doing are helpful to you. You need to figure out what that 20% is. And then more importantly, you need to get rid of the other 80%. So I spring clean like every 2 or 3 months, not just in the spring. I get rid of clothes. I get rid of stuff. I don't have a bunch of clutter in my house. Minimalization, because the 20% I have is what's going to help me elevate. Only 20% of your job is absolutely necessary and critical for you to be successful at your job. You need to be more proficient at that 20%. Maybe you're spending too much time at the water cooler, having coffee, talking trash with your coworkers. But that's not going to get you that raise. That's not going to get you that positive energy. They're telling you, you see, so-and-so did such and such and such and such, talking about movie stars and athletes. They ain't talking about you. They're not spending they 20% on you. What are you spending your 20% on? Power words. Inside of our planner, every day we write down our daily power word. I have a power word for the year, and I have a power word every day, because it's important for you to set your intent. So tomorrow, start thinking about tonight. What do I want to set my intent on for tomorrow? Okay? Self-mastery. Money comes to me. Money flows to me. I am magic. I'm worthy. Whatever words you need. Worthy, trust, honor. I like honor the system. Honor, be honorable. Meaning, do what you say what you're going to do. Somebody messaged me today. They said, hey, I'm struggling. I texted them. I said, look, I promise you I will hit you up today. Send me your email. Send me your phone number. It was on Messenger. They did. I was tired. I worked hard today. I knew I still had to do this. I really didn't want to call, but I promised. So I called. And guess what? They were appreciative. They needed that. So our energy is needed. We just don't know it. So have a power word for the day. It helps you to focus your intent for the day. Okay? Maybe your power word for tomorrow is going to be focus. You're going to focus on that 20%. Maybe your power word tomorrow is 20%. Okay, personal token. I've shared with you all that I have tokens around my entire universe. The first thing I'm going to tell you is, what is a token? A token is a reminder. So you have your power word, sort of a token, but I have a physical token bands that say 24K life. These are tokens. They remind me to be and do what I say, I preach that I do, and I say that I am, which is to be 24K. Being 24K is delivering my best self. So when somebody pisses me off, do I yell at them because that's my best self, or do I find some grace, some compassion, and get into my Derek zone to remember that they're not thinking about me, they're thinking about themselves, and they're not really pissed at me, that they're pissed at somebody else. This is another token. I don't really share my most intimate tokens. This is one of my most intimate tokens. Okay. It is, you can see the glass. It's I can't think of the name of it. It's a special glass. I'll tell you what it is later, but it's a special stone, shape of a heart. And it reminds me to be magical, because the glitter and the shine on this is magical. I carry this in my pocket when I need to hit my heart space, when I need to be more compassionate, when I need to give more love, when I need to be more patient, when I need to be better. and remind myself that I, first of all, am magical and people need that magic. They need that money magic. If you don't think you need that money magic, I'm not sure what you're doing here. You should be somewhere else. But we all could use some money magic, right? And it reminds me that I'm magical, and I'm magical from my heart, not my mind. So this is a token that I carry around with myself, okay? This right here, this bracelet, you guys see me wear this. I've been wearing this for years. I found this at a secondhand store for $15. It is one of my best prized possessions. I've been wearing it for years and years and years. It reminds me of the great pharaohs and kings, right? Not that it has anything to do with anybody else, but for me to be great. It reminds me to be great. So I surround myself with constant reminders. I'm constantly have my book in my office, in my home, in my backpack to remind me that I wrote an entire book about tools to help me be better, to help you be better. It reminds me to be 24K. Okay. Next. So those are tokens. So if you get your workbook and you're thinking, okay, well, what are my tokens? Go get yourself some tokens. Okay. The next thing in the workbook is, can I do more with less? Can I do more with less? Now, it is a trick question. I put down here, yes, no, maybe. It's a trick question. I just taught you the 80-20 rule. You can do so much more with so much less. Okay. I told you on Sunday, if you happen to be here on Sunday, I told you Sunday that I shut down all of my social websites off my telephone, except for LinkedIn and Twitter. Anything that I constantly look at, I took off. Instagram's off. Facebook's off. Messenger off. Okay. TikTok off. TikTok's hilarious, by the way, but I took it off. And it wasn't because I was spending so much time there. It's just that I'm constantly trying to figure out how I can get to the 20%. So now, instead of looking at TikToks or Instagrams, what I'm doing is I'm making notes for myself. I'm taking my iPad and I'm making notes about things that God has given me that I need to be given to you, right? Things that I would forget because I'm looking at TikTok or I'm looking at Instagram or I'm trying to think of something clever to post. So I've removed those things out of my direct line of sight. I put them on my iPad, but you can't carry this around everywhere you go. I can't put this in my pocket. I don't take this into the store. I don't sit in the car with this open. So I found so much more time, productive time, just by taking that off. And I told you on Sunday, I don't expect you to take it off. Here's what I do expect you to do. How about you just stop getting the notifications? Therefore, you won't go look at Instagram, TikTok, all these other ones because you have a notification. You'll go when you want to go, when it's good for you to go. You won't go just because Pavlov dogs rings a bell. If you didn't know, those notifications is Pavlov ringing a bell. The dog salivates. You've heard of Pavlov's dogs. He rings a bell. He taught them to salivate because he'd ring the bell, he'd feed them, and they'd salivate, and they'd eat. And then he removed the food, kept ringing the bell, and they'd start salivating. It's a trick to keep you distracted from focusing on mastering your mindset, from reading amazing books. I should have pointed to my book, but reading amazing books, okay? The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It is an amazing book. My son has read this book 6 times. I've read this book 4 times. I know people have read this book. They read it once a year, okay, as a refresher for themselves. It is an amazing book to really challenge you on how to deal with yourself and how to deal with other people. Now, listen, I know we're talking money mindset, but I'm talking mindset because honestly, now that you've stayed long enough, I can be honest with you. There's no money mindset. There's your mindset. Are you a lack person? Things always happen to me, or all good things happen to me? Bad things always happen, or good things always happen? So if I started off telling you your mindset was messed up, you wouldn't stay and you wouldn't listen. But if I got you to this point, I can tell you, it's not just your money, it's your body, it's your habits, it's everything that you are in control of. What's your mindset to elevate? Tara's going in for some new friends or something, right? This is an example. Tara's going in for some new friends. Is she going in thinking nobody's going to like me, or everybody's going to love me and I'm going to have to push them back? What's your mindset to everything in your circle? You've got to control that. You got to demand that. You have to elevate that. So it's not just your money mindset. Your money mindset is one component of your relationships. Do you take ownership for your money falls? Do you take ownership for your relationship fails? Do you take ownership of all of these things? And are you spending the time to master your mind? That's why we talked about social media, because all these things increase your value. And when your value increases, people recognize it. And when they recognize it, they have to pay you. It's not that they want to pay you more. They have to pay you more money, because they got to pay you closer to what you're worth, or you'll work with some other people. Okay, so trick question. Yes, you can do more with less. And you should be looking to get rid of 80% of the nonsense in your universe. That means people, friends, not so good friends, coworkers that you're chit-chatting with that aren't saying good things. They're always got some drama going on. Do you know that drama drags you down? I mean, you think it makes you feel better because you're like, oh my God, I'm glad it's not me. Their life's messed up. But it affects your heart, your soul, and your energy. You can't walk away from that feeling good. Oh, I feel better that they're messed up and I'm not that bad. You can't feel good for that. You can't turn around and do something amazing until you get your game and your mind in the right spot. So I'm going to finish up with this. When you think about your money mindset, when you think about your habits, and you think about the way you look at things, you want to surround yourself with the proper tools. You want to have a budget. Wealthy people know where their money is. So if you're paying attention and you listen to me, you pick that up. Wealthy people have a budget. They keep it. They honor it. Okay. And let's just, for argument's sake, say that they don't count their money. Guess what? They have an accountant, bookkeeper, or somebody that's keeping track of their money. So if they're not doing it, they're getting a report from somebody who is. Don't get it twisted. They know where their money is. So if you can master a little, then you can master a lot. So let's become masters of what we have. Let's honor what we have. Let's take care of what we have. Let's multiply what we have and watch it grow. I met with someone today. She's been with me. We went back and did the math. We've been together for 4 years. When she started working with me, she had over $40,000 of debt, not including student loans. She had zero savings. She was behind on her car. Today, she's got zero debt except for her student loan still. Okay, zero debt. She has $25,000 in different savings accounts. One's for the house. She has emergency fund. She's vacation fund. She had $30,000, but she needed to use 10 of it to repair the sidewalk and street because the water main busted or whatever it did. They make you pay for that ish when it's between your house and the street. She had the money to do that. She called me crying when it happened. And I'm like, wow, but you got the money. She goes, no, you don't understand. I'm crying because I got the money. And then 3 years ago, because this happened a year ago, 3 years ago, I wouldn't have had the money. I would have had no idea what I was going to do. And so when you master your mindset, and she's a big worrier. She worries like I used to worry about everything, meaning wringing your hands. So she got the money thing straight. So when the money thing got straight, it lowered her stress level. It lowered her anxiety. And now we begin to work on how much she's worrying. So you got money and you're still worrying. And she goes, I know, it's crazy. So we started working on that. First thing I did was I had her read this, the 4 agreements. These are 4 agreements with yourself. I had her start with this. And then we went through that process. And then we started creating new tools to replace the worry with optimism. And little by little, she's turning around. It took me 3 to 4 years to churn away from being this strictly worried dude, which really helped me be a great financial planner for people. But I was a great financial planner and an asshole, right? Because I was always worried for them, for you. But now I'm a great financial planner and I'm not an ass. Now I've learned how to help people enjoy the journey because I've learned to take vacations. I've learned to enjoy myself along the way. And I've already told you, I give the credit to my sister. I give the credit to some mentors that I have that kept pushing me to even stop and read a book, right? I would only read serious books. I would never read a fiction book. Now, every once in a while, I read a fiction book. I'll watch a movie. I've learned how to enjoy myself along the way. So what I'm saying to you is simply this. You need to do the work. Okay. And what does that mean? You need to fill out the workbook that I just gave you. That's the best way to start. Okay. And then once you start there, understand that's just a knowing. That is just a knowing that I have a problem that I need to fix. Then you need to go seek some help. If your money's all together and your fitness is not, go get some help. Get the money, get your mindset together. I can be fit. I can get off these high blood pressure medications. I can get off these thyroid meds if I get my nutrition together, if I get my fitness together, if I get my workouts together, if I can consume enough water, and I get rid of all these toxins and fertilizers. Okay, if your money's tight and your body's tight and you're a jerk, then you need some interpersonal work. How can I find grace with people? How can I find compassion with people? How can I give people the benefit of the doubt? But all of us have an area that we need work in. I'm here to help you with your money part. If you go through this exercise and you find that you're lacking, you have to reach out. You got to say, Derek, can we just spend a half an hour, just chop it up and let's take a look at where I am so I can figure out where I can go. Because it's really hard for me to see a brighter future. You know, I had a young lady on my timeline on Sunday, and she reached out to me and she says, hey, I'm really sorry. I kind of went in on Sunday. I was drunk and I was sad and I was just beside myself. So the questions I were asking were really aggressive, and I apologize. And so you don't have to apologize. The questions you ask were in you, right? And so we need to get them answered. So let's get together and let's answer them. Let's figure it out, because no one can figure it all out by themselves. We all need each other. I need you for certain things and you need me for certain things. The things that I'm good at is getting people out of financial slavery. People are sitting around in financial desperation, distraught, can't sleep, taking all kind of meds because of their finances. There's something you can do about it, right? But you got to do something about it. I can't just magically call you and say, let's fix it. You have to call me and say, let's fix it. And we'll do that. My number's at the bottom. If you have any questions and you want to ask me privately, ask away. You can message me, you can text me, you can call me. We'll set aside some time and answer your questions. We'll help you figure out, how serious or how simple some of the changes you need to make are. And we'll go from there. I'm Derek Gann. I want you to be your best, bring your best. I hope you enjoyed our time together. And I'm asking each and every one of you to leave some sort of comment for me. No matter what it is, leave a comment. Really enjoyed it. I thought it sucked. Man, next time, can you talk about this? I want to know more about investing. What's the stock market? Whatever your comment is, I'm asking each and every one of you to leave a comment. And I'm asking all of you that enjoyed it to at least leave me a thumbs up, a heart, or something along those lines. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're not on YouTube, go subscribe to the YouTube. Have a blessed day. We're going to bring you, I told you earlier this year, I was committed to bringing you more content, more pertinent content that will help you to level up your life so that you don't have to be shackled, so that you don't have to struggle and suffer, that you can always know that you're in the pathway of prosperity, that you're in control of manifesting your future. You might not have been able to control the past because it is what it was, but that's not you anymore. We're going to make better financial decisions as we move forward. Thank you, Kobe. I love you too. Thank you, Rob. I really appreciate you. You're a stud. Devin posted the link again for the workbook. Grab that workbook. Marla, thank you for the thumbs up. I hope that we were able to, thank you, Danetta. I hope that we were able to deliver some insights. When you get the workbook, everything that I said will come together. And as you write down your story and you start thinking about things that your parents said to you when you were younger, it'll come together for you. When you start thinking about things you say to your kids, it's going to come together for you. I urge you to change, because your kids are watching. As you can see, my son posted a link. He'll tell you I spend more time with him than any other human on the planet. and I pour into him as much as I can, because I told a client today, they're asking me about life insurance. And I said, yeah, we can do that, blah, blah, blah. But let me tell you the best gift that you can give your family, give your kids, and that is to pour into them your wisdom and your greatness. But we got to get you to greatness. We got to get rid of that 80%, get you to 20%, get you on your value, get you on your worth, and then have you pour into your kids, because they are depending on you, because the world is not getting simpler. It's getting more complicated. I'm Derek Gant. Be your best, bring your best, leave nothing to chance. Have a great evening. We're going to play that rap song again. I love it.
Yeah, it's time to live your life. Derek Gant, show them how to take it to the highest height. Hey, this is more than financial advice. Show you how to take control. Time to get your money right. Money management, I know that we all need financial independence. Yeah, it seems out of reach, but you can make it happen. Now it's time for some action, helping you with your finances. Yeah, we got a passion. Hey, ain't no limit. Now it's time to get it. You deserve to have a life how you want to live it. Secrets to success. Now it's time to get it right. Yeah, I'm talking all about that 24K life. Let's go. This the vibe. For real, I'm trying to tell you. Tell me if you ready to take it to the next level. Derek Gant, talking fitness and investment. Change your mindset and show you how it's all connected. Ain't no need to hesitate or delay. Only way to live life is a 24K. Hey, Derek Gant, let them know. Let's go.